Tell me, is there any more room for me? Why didn't you put on your damn blinker before you turn? Hey, what it do? What's up? Your girl G here. What's up? Your girl G here. What's up? Hey, I'm in a good mood today. I had a good day today, y'all. So I just wanted to come and talk to y'all about Housewives of Atlanta while I'm on the way home. I ain't gonna lie, it's hot than a B.I. It's hot out here, y'all. And my car got leather seats, so when I came here and sat my ass down, that said, my butt sat down and sizzled, y'all. It is too hot. Especially if you live in the South, bonkers. It's like 95 degrees by 11:30, and it don't make no sense. But hey, like I said, your girl G here. We're going to talk about Housewives of Atlanta. This actually was a pretty decent episode, if you ask me. And we now actually got genuine, organic, beef. Although it may seem like something simple, because Kelli and Brit got a little bit of history, and just because of how everything has played out this season, we're actually getting some organic beefage, okay? But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get to the episode. If you're new to your girl's channel, hey, how you doing? Make sure you hit that like button, okay? Because it is free 99. I'm not gonna swipe some money out, okay? I'm not swiping, no swiping. I ain't like the country that's gonna come in and hit you with $9.99 in the middle of your sleep, okay? And then send it off to Iran. That's another conversation in itself, because United States, Earth is ghetto, okay? Abduct me now, okay? But let's go ahead and get to Housewives of Atlanta before my phone overheat, because like I said, it's hot. So if my camera cut off, it's because my phone overheated. So first things first, you guys, Shamia, she has taken Shiloh to the hospital, just to double check up on everything. She came back with strep from Grenada, and it's, obviously with her daughter's compromised immune system, the slightest thing can make her, crucial. But what was interesting and something that we did not see is Shamia and her husband went on to try and give a son. They implanted the embryo, and Shamia is doing this whole, my husband, he's such a great dad, that's why he deserves a son, I want to give him that. Shamia, having a son is not going to absolve you of the guilt that you have with Shiloh. It's not going anywhere, hunty. And I hope you can at least, try to talk with somebody about that type of guilt. And then if you can't give Gerald a son, in which she said, after it failed, the implant failed, her and Gerald decided to take a break and just, talk things through again. I guarantee they're going to try at least one more time. That's what my gut is telling me. They're going to try at least one more time. And Shami's going to want to do that, because not only is he, from the motherland, but I know how it is about having a son, passing on the last name, but also as well, Shamia feels, you can tell she feels guilty by not even just being able to deliver like a child without any ailments, and a lot of moms, when they find out either that their child has a disability, or whether it be neurological or physical or whatever it is, as the mom, you're immediately, carrying the guilt, because you're the one who's holding the baby for 9 months. Let alone, we've all, come to learn, obviously with more research, that it's because a lot of these niggas out here, sperms is dead, okay? Dead from the head to the tail. They say sperm shape, sperm speed, all that, okay? All that is up for debate with a lot of you dudes. The testosterone levels is low, okay? And, I just want Shamia to just try to get some of that up off herself, okay? But yeah, so that was Shamia and Shiloh. So after that, we saw Phaedra, you guys. Phaedra, I actually love this. I don't with Phaedra, I don't with her. But I can acknowledge the type of mother that she is. And I love the fact that immediately with her son, is his name Dylan, the one that's Mr. President? Immediately he wanted to sew his own pants, and she went full force with it. She got him sewing lessons, and them pants he sewed was nice. Like, y'all can say what you want, but them pants was nice, okay? And, you know, the fact that they, you know, these two boys, you can tell they're very close. It's just really cute. One of my favorite things about, you know, Housewives and shows in general is actually watching the kids grow up. Like, it's one of those kind of like underrated things where it's like we literally be watching these kids grow up in front of our face. Like, we seen Riley from, you know, 8, 9, 10 years old to now in college. You know, we've seen, you know, Mr. President since he literally was butt booty naked out the womb to now, and he's sewing his pants. Like, that's so crazy, y'all. But that was cute. They're gonna have a little fashion show or whatever, a little trunk, you know, a little trunk show to show off the merchandise, okay? And I guess this place called the Ivy or something like that, like you can rent clothes from, because even Kelli said she's rented clothes from there before. Catch rent. But speaking of Kelli, y'all, this was her court date. She went to court and things did not go as planned. This was supposed to be her final hearing, and it didn't turn out that way. They couldn't come up to an agreement. The judge gave them till 12 o'clock. It didn't happen. You know, that man, she said it's been 3 years going. That man is making it more difficult than the next. And his ass got locked up. Y'all, went to jail, okay? All because he can't pay no child support. Some chuss up, as me and my friends say. We call it that chuss up, okay? Can't pay the child support, or won't pay the child support. We'll put it that way. So you know what? Send all them niggas to jail who don't want to take care of them kids. And the fact that she has four, and the girl that he raised that wasn't his, but like literally sees him as a dad, like, that's really messed up. So if you can't pay your child support or handle your business, a lot of women feel guilty doing it, you know, sending they man in jail, because then it's the logic of, well, if he locked up, like he can't help you from inside jail, he can't work from inside jail. Man, he wasn't gonna work and pay me that money no way. So you know what? You can become inmate 679-000, okay? Shout out to Rodney the Voice. Lock him up.
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Period. Yeah. Kelli's at the house and she's talking with her friend Lamont and what's the other friend? Lamont came over, and then it was the Cynthia. Shamia, because you know Shamia and Kelli's like the new freaking frack, okay? You can tell they're kind of becoming the new close ones. And Shamia's coming over to check on her, and of course she's stressed because she been at the courthouse all god dang day. And she is just like, you know, telling her about him getting arrested. So now Shamia's like, damn, like this shit is still going. And she's like, yeah. And so she gets a call from, was it Portia or Cynthia? Angela, that's what it was. Angela called her. And so Shamia was like, oh, you know, that's nice that Angela called, You know, did any of the ladies call for support or whatever? And she was like, yeah, a couple of other ladies did, but, you know, some didn't. And so Shamia's like, who didn't? She was like, Brit. And she was like, wait a minute, have you not talked to her since, you know, Grenada? And she was like, girl, none, zero, zilch. And so she was like, well, that's interesting for the two besties to not be talking at all. And so, oh my God, move your ass over. Sorry, y'all. People just want to be riding their brakes. Like, what the actual finna? Okay, so, yeah, so Shamia is just like, oh wow, y'all ain't talked since Grenada, that's crazy. And so Brit's just kind of like, yeah, you know, ever since our situation, she kind of elaborated a little bit more with Shamia that it was over, you know, the stylist team, and basically how Brit, it wasn't just like, oh, you know, my stylist, it was like my stylist, my photographer, my makeup person. And although it seems like kind of petty or not that big, like, I get it, because if we all gotta be somewhere at the same damn set time, or around the same set time, they're not gonna be able to do like me and you, like, and like, yeah, I let you borrow, but then like to try and just totally up and skip jump and steal all of our people, like, damn, you know. But I think had there been a little bit more of a conversation, and then if Brittany didn't, I don't know, Brittany went behind her back in the aspect of like, oh, let's all meet up at my house, because why all of a sudden is Paris like on social media, her stylist, like talking cash money shit about like Kelli. I don't know why, but he, you know, Brittany, she is actually ended up inviting Portia and Cynthia over, and of course, you know, they cackling in the confessionals. Oh my God, like Brit, I was able to come to Brit's house. You know, Portia being sarcastic. Oh, you know, just such special invitation. You know, and so they end up going over to, you know, her house, and from what I saw, it was like cute, like it wasn't ugly. She's like, oh, we're renovating or whatever, and I couldn't tell if it was, but the basement at least looked somewhat done. That's where they always, why do I feel like I'm dark? Sorry, y'all. I don't know, I just feel like I'm dark. That's a little bit better. So, yeah, so, they're over at Brit's house, and she basically is starting to let them know, like, kind of what the beef is with her and Brittany. She's like, from Brittany's perspective, she's like, man, I guess maybe she heard Kelli, Phaedra told her that Kelli was, I guess, saying some shit to Portia. So, from my understanding, I guess she was like, why am I gonna call her? Because you've been talking about me, and you know what? I mean, Brittany kind of got a point, y'all. You know, Brittany has been causing a lot of mess, and it's really weird because the drama that she was trying to get from Kenya and like forcing to happen, it ended up naturally happening with Kelli. Like, that's why the girls be feel like, oh, I gotta like get shit bumping like episode 2, 3, and I'm sure the producers had a lot to do with that. But you gotta be careful when you're new, because bitch, they will line you up and knock you down for the sake of the show, which is what's happening right now, clearly with Brittany. But yeah, so I get what Brittany's saying. It's like, I feel fake reaching out to you, knowing that you've been talking about me. So like, I kind of get it, y'all. So but yeah, so she's talking to them and explaining what's going on, and so Portia's like, not freaking frag, you know. And so Cynthia's like, which one are you? She said, I'm both. So yeah, so basically they're just kind of talking to her like, so what does this mean for like you and Kelli, you know? Bitch, let me tell you, her and Kelli, they was going back and forth like a little tennis match. Okay, do I want to get gas now? Do I want to get gas now? I don't know. Maybe. I think so. What happened after that? Brittany, Cynthia, Portia, they were over there. Kelli hosted the, I guess, you know, chicken and waffle cook-off or whatever. Y'all know Charles, he said, you know, I don't start none, but I'll finish shit, you know, shoot, I show up to the competition. And Angela, you can tell, is very, like, proud to be with Charles, which is why I think a part of the reason why she won't leave him, even though he's doing her dirtiest finna, okay? She literally is always like, you know, Charles, you know, he stand on business, you know, Charles, he don't never got no problem, you know, standing up for himself. You know, everybody knows him from Madison Square Garden, and you know, it is what it is. Of course, he in the confessional with his salt and pepper damn beard and afro, just giving real, just sitting back, trying to be real cool. Yeah, you know, this is what I do. You know, this is what I do. You know, I'm show up. I don't mind standing on business, okay? So that's what he did. He went over to Kelli's to go over there and stand on business, all right?
the big business.
So, let me call. Hold on, you guys. I got a call to make. I will be right back. Hey, all right, y'all. I'm back. Okay, so where was I? Brittany, Charles. Charles, and at the they started hosting the like cook-off or whatever. So I really like Kelli. I do. Is she loud sometimes? Yes. Can she be loud sometimes? Yes. But I really think she's a good fit for the show. Kelly's a good fit for the show. Angela's a good fit for the show. But yeah, but sometimes Kelli, she's almost like Shamia, where it's like the outfit will be cute, but you need to take off like that one thing, you know? And for her, I don't know what the hell them sleeves were that she had on at this little shindig. So everybody shows up, you know, Kelli and Charles. It's at Williams and Sonoma. You know, they're doing their thing, cooking. They just called it a tie. I wonder who really won. And so as they're eating, all of a sudden, somebody comes to Angela and gives her a little tap on the shoulder. So he's like, you know, hey, can you mind if I can talk to you for a little bit? She was like, yeah. And he was like, you know, I just kind of want to talk to you over here. And she was like, who are you? And she was like, oh, you know, I'm a restaurant owner. Your husband frequents there. And she's like, okay. And he's like, well, you know, well, I would rather tell you, you know, alone, not around people. So she's like, all right. And he's like, yeah, you know, what I got to say, you know, about Charles, I don't want to say in front of other people. So clearly it's like the closer, yeah, you're starting to realize, oh, okay, so you want some bull. You want to start some mess. Okay, you want to start some mess. Okay, so that's what it's giving. Angela didn't get up. Okay. Old dude went to walk off because Angela wasn't getting up. She was not doing it. So Drew and everybody else kind of heard, you know, was like, what was that? Whatever. She was like, I don't know. Like, he was coming here trying to say something about Charles. And of course, Angela, he's like, oh, you know, he might want to be careful for, you know, because Charles, he a pit bull. And so it was funny because the girls took a shot, and then whoever it was that was tapping Angela on the shoulder, he went to take a shot with another group of people over there and was like, cheers to either Charles cheating or Angela getting cheated on by Charles. And everybody's face was kind of like, wait a minute, whoop, okay. All right, like let's just put it on the float then. And so everybody else was kind of looking at Charles, and I think it was either Phaedra. She was like, either Charles ain't heard it or Charles played like he ain't listening, like he ain't feeding into it. Y'all think Charles heard it? I think that nigga heard it. I think that nigga heard it good and well, but he ain't want to tear, you know, that good old white folks Williams and Sonoma establishment up. You know, that's, you know, you don't want to tear up the white folks' place. And that lady clearly wanted to do business with him because at the end, there was like a little flash of the scene. They were talking together. So Charles was trying to get on, you know, maintain a business professional face. But he heard that shit. He may look old, okay, but he heard that shit all right. So Angela was kind of like, So Kelli, you know, she gonna keep her what's her security name? Casey, Kenny. And so homie gets escorted. And so Kelly's like, girl, I don't even know who that was. I would never like put you in that situation. I don't believe in being messy like that. Like, whoever that was, goodbye. And so Angela's just kind of like, oh shoot, you know, I ain't worried about, you know, just be glad he ain't get Charles, because shoot, Charles, you know, he don't play that. You know, that's kind of always been Angela's whole thing this season. Oh, Charles don't play that. I don't think he do either, but like, I just really be feeling bad because, like, Angela, this Negro really did not, like, want to talk to you on your anniversary. Like, I would feel some motherfucking type of way. And the way he was so nonchalant, like, you can't be nonchalant, especially on the anniversary. Who was it? Like, I like my nigga Chalant. Like, I like my nigga Chalant. Chalant all the way. So, we get to the end of the episode where it's Phaedra's little trunk fit or whatever. And all the ladies are showing up. It was like a black glove situation. And as they're, you know, showing up or whatever, Cynthia, first of all, Cynthia, the fact that you have been filming with Brit towards the end of this, and like, I get it, you know, for the show, do it. But there definitely was some after show / you know, watch what happens live that definitely gave like not friend to Kenya. It just really did. But nonetheless, they all show up to the event and it's on and cracking. You know, they Kelly's like their first. Kelli, Shamia's outfit was cute. Kelly's was like, y'all, Brittany actually came in looking kind of good. Her butt cheeks, it looked like just the cuppage, you know, right up that little scoop you do right up under the butt. You know, that part looked like it was out, but I love the bob on Brittany. Like, the bitch crazy, but like, she looked good. The bob was cute. And so that's what she was telling, that's what it was. That's what she was telling Portia. She was like, she just mad because, you know, they say I look better. Like, she was feeling jealous. Like, you know, they were giving me better looks than Nashville. It's like, bitch, they dressed y'all the same. They didn't give her nothing just special, okay? And plus, girl, Kelli, y'all two different sizes. Like, you quite literally, like, Phaedra is funny with this goddamn little shortcake. When she got a little shortcake, it's just a little shortcake. So I'm like, girl, you tiny. You like a little troll doll. Brittany looked well like 5'7", 5'8", if you ask me. So like, girl, y'all not gonna be able to wear the same shit, Kelli. But like, okay. So Brit also took that as time, I forgot too, to basically start snitching. She was like, girl, I done seen text message about you, Portia. I done seen your lawyer, and kind of find out, Portia was like, oh no, that was my therapist. So now that's something that she has to bring up with, I'm guessing, Shamia or Kelli, because Brit is spilling it. And then they both started spilling, okay? They get there, Brittany comes in, says hi to everybody. Brittany says, hi, Kelli. Kelli said, took a sip of her drink. Hi, Kelli. Everybody else around was just kind of like, right. So, so they're talking with Brittany. How you doing? And they're like talking about what happened at Kelli's event. So they're filling all the other girls in because they only heard a little bit by secondhand. So as they're talking, Brittany's like conversating with them, and Brittany's kind of like, you know, you don't have to act, you know, passive with me, Kelli. She's like, oh, I'm not passive. She's like, you're acting very passive aggressive. Kelli's like, no, I'm aggressive. So she was like, oh, pipe down, wolf. And she's like, I'm the mighty wolf. Like, Kelli, I tell you, they like Phaedra said, it was just like a ping pong match. So finally, Kelli hit him with the,
Phaedra, you better get your roommate. You better get your pill popper roommate.
Everybody said, pills. The pill popper roommate. I said, oh, what kind of pills? Not the Tylenol, the Adderall, the Oxycodone. Like, what was it? Like, and if you knew she pill popping, bitch, was you popping them too? Because y'all was hanging out together. I mean, it would explain why Kelli don't ever mind getting butt ass naked. Okay, beautiful bucket naked. Shout out to Bernie Mac. She might be on them X pills, because you know they say X pills make you real, you know, hot in the pants, make you real hot in the puss. That ecstasy, okay? So Brit was like, "Oh, word? That's what we doing?" And here's where a big debate is gonna be. Brit was kind of right in her confessional of, you know, basically like how we are in a fight. My respect towards you is like the respect you have for me. And bitch, since that you clearly threw that out the window, bitch, then let's go. Ding, ding, ding. So, you know, I mean, she's kind of right, because it's like the friendship of them. Like, I only, like, if you throw the sling at me, don't throw a rock at me and then be mad when I throw back a Coliseum, okay? And, I mean, was Brittany wrong for throwing the abortion in her face? Y'all drop it in the comments, because Kelli was like, oh, you want to talk about me or whatever? She was like, you can't even say nothing about me with all the abortions you had. You was married. And then the ladies was like, ah, damn, like, Lord Jesus, Brittany, don't do that. Like, girl, Brittany, I get it, no, but like, yeah, that's your friend at one point. Like, don't be throwing that out there. And Kelli was like, first of all, I had my tubes tied after my twins. Okay, hold up. See Kelli, I caught you, Kelli, because how old is her twins? Are her twins the youngest? Are her twins the youngest? If your twins the youngest, you ain't got nothing to say about after the twins was born. But what about before? What about before, Kelli? Before them twins? And you know what? By me, girl, make all them bitches having babies, because clearly your husband did not deserve no kids. So I ain't even mad at you. If that's what you did, then so be it. You know, when you are in, you know, domestic relationships, kids cause trouble and they make shit worse. So girl, if you did decide to take a vacuum to that uterus, by all means, girl, as you said, my body, my choice. But y'all drop down in the comments and tell me, do y'all feel like Brittany was out of line, or she was justified because Kelli took the swing first? You know, this definitely, as Cynthia said, was a you go low, bitch, I'm going to hell. Okay, I'm going to hell so much I'll take a seat right next to Satan himself. So as they're fighting, Drew's late, okay? But she actually messaged Phaedra and said that she was coming late. It was like, hey, you know, whatever. Phaedra mess ass go sit there and leave Drew outside. I was like, girl, she was like, well, she told me, but I mean 6 o'clock sharp. You know, it definitely was messy, bitch. You could have let Drew in. So as Drew's outside, you know, she getting wings from the police officer, flirting with him a little bit. And they start the fashion show. And so Kelli, before the fashion show, Phaedra takes a little shortcake outside. And she's like, girl, like, okay, like, you can calm down. I'm a Reiki healer. She said, bitch, I this ain't no healing nothing, okay? That bitch. Like, that's where we at right now, okay?
Who? One word. Bitches.
A girl have beef with me, she gonna have beef with me forever.
And so, yeah, they do the fashion show. And then, the fashion show is over, and that bitch now she wanna let Drew in. Tell you what sense that made. So after Drew comes in, they sit down, and they were able to. Let me park this. Drew comes in, sits down, and they were able to, I guess, like, kind of come together and talk after that. Finally, Portia didn't show up because unfortunately her cousin Lundy passed away, which is super duper sad. After the fashion show was done, the boys came out. The boys, like, I just was really proud of the boys. I really was. So, like I said, after the fashion show, Drew finally come in. They all sit down, and Phaedra gives them the news of what's happened with Lundy, and they all just kind of sit there and realize, like, damn, that's crazy. And so now Phaedra, y'all know they love to do life is short, no matter what we go through, we're still a sisterhood. Bitch, that sisterhood is done. It is gone, kaput. Okay, bitch, you threw pills in my face, and bitch, I threw a dead baby in yours, point blank, period. But yeah, you guys, that was Real Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all drop down in the comments to let me know how that was. I'm home. And y'all tell me down in the comments, y'all feel like Brittany was justified in slinging mud back that harsh at Kelli? Do you guys feel like, what do you guys feel about the whole stylist situation? Was Brittany, like, in the wrong to take, like, all of her team or, like, half of her team? Do you guys believe the rumors about Charles? You know that man that came in? Oh, allegedly Angela said that she know people. She know people that know people. So she's like, yeah, we paid them, take a little visit. And so then the people was like, oh, are y'all part of the mob? Do y'all know some folks? And she's like, no, we just know some people who love us very much. And so she ended up telling the ladies that, they got a name and a number. And so that's what's going to happen in the finale. So, yeah, you guys, I appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'll catch your host later. Deuces.